Now, there's some properties that I don't like. I don't like serviced apartments. They're generally on top of a building where they come and service it. They're very hard to finance and they're extremely hard to sell, and they're very, very small. There are a lot of lending institutions that don't want to loan money to investors for those. So keep in mind that they're still okay with a lot of people and they make money out of them. I prefer not to sell them. Yeah, one-bedroom apartments are almost similar to a serviced apartment. A one-bedder can be sold to uni student or rented to uni students. They can be sent to single income mums, dads or whatever. But once again, you've got to make the bed before you go out. You can't bring people home. They're very small. They're very hard to sell. Very, very rare to get a one-bedder with a car park. So they're limited. The other thing I don't like oceanfront. I haven't sold oceanfront, period, to be honest, because it's really, really high maintenance. And apart from that, the fact that now we're getting all of these corrosion down at the sea level, it's getting harder and harder to really maintain it. So I tend to steer away from absolute oceanfront unless a client specifically requests that property. But I haven't sold any at that. I don't like it. The other thing I don't like is high-rise, multi-storey. The minute you get over 3 storeys, you've got lifts. The minute you've got lifts, you've never heard of a lift collapsing. If a lift collapsed, whoever owned a building, the legal ramifications would be horrendous. So those lifts have to be maintained, and they're very, very expensive to maintain. So high-rise apartment and city living and all that, it's okay. However, you must understand that if you want that, I prefer you to have a portfolio based on other properties first before you go to a high-rise city development, because the body corporates can be really, really horrendous. And in a lot of really good high-rise apartments, the attrition rate of people leaving as soon as the lease is up, because where do you park? It's okay if you live and work in the city, and that's great, but how do you have friends over? How does your tenant decide, oh look, mum and dad are all coming, but there's nowhere for them to park. They've got to come into the city. If they have a drink, we've got to put them in a cab to send them home. There's lots of really good aspects for young working couples living there, but there's also the negative side. And the negative side to me is the high holding costs. I hope that the information you've just received has given you more questions than answers, and that's what I do. We educate you to make sure that you understand the whole process. After all, it's your money, and by giving you all the education and all the tools, completely free of obligation, I believe that you'll want to do business with us. So why don't you give us a call, pick up the phone or send us an email, and we'll take care of all of your questions completely obligation free.